Absolutely. And we talked about Teams and OS and Teams OS. Specifically with regards to OS, an operating system, I think about iOS on the iPhone, which is something that is an open ecosystem. There are millions of apps out there that you can download. And this is starting to strike at the core of what I find to be really profound about Follow Up Boss, which is how open your ecosystem is, how flexible it is. And I want to spend just a couple minutes talking about how you came to that decision and what it means for your community.
Me and Tom, our technical co-founder, we're just looking at the real estate industry, the software, and we sort of had, I guess, some opinions about software from what we had experienced and what we liked, because like being tech guys, okay, we like things like free trials, we like things like open APIs, easy to integrate. And so it was just like, no one else is doing that in this market. What, of course we're going to do it. Like, we want to build software the way that we like it. And it's also like, it makes me think of like the Seth Godin sort of purple cow thing, so it's like, hey, if everyone's doing this one thing over here, like being a closed system, like, why don't you just be the open system? So I think it was pretty aligned from a business standpoint. And then it's also just been very strategic. Like we also, in the early days, no one had APIs or anything like that. So we were writing all these lead email parsers where we would just see the lead email, you got a new lead from Zillow in your email, and then our system would read that and put it in the system. But we were like, oh, we don't really want to be writing these forever. So, again, like that's where you have an API, you let people integrate, and, then you can build some cool stuff together. And it's also just another way to like involve other developers and companies in terms of building value on the platform, obviously. So yeah, that's also, I think, knowing that we were a small company, we're still only 100 people. It's like, hey, we're not going to build everything ourselves, right? So it's like, how can we team up and, again, integrate with other best-in-class products? Because that's, again, sort of what we liked.
We're not going to build all products. I think that that's something a lot of vendors in our industry can learn from, right? Because when you talk about these vertically integrated SaaS companies, a lot of vendors in the early 2000s, and unfortunately still today in our industry, are trying to boil the ocean, right? They want to be not only a CRM, but they want to be a website developer and e-signatures. And what that means, they don't do anything particularly well. And I think that your approach, being this open ecosystem, this Teams OS, it allows for best-in-class products to all talk to each other. And that way you can have multiple apps on your smartphone, and you can have multiple apps connecting with Follow Up Boss and helping your customers grow their business.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head right there. You don't want to lock yourself into an all-in-one system and then limit your ability to market and connect and take advantage of the latest tools and systems that are out there. You take something like RealScout, which has the latest cutting-edge technology. People are going to want to use that. If you're using a different all-in-one, it's like, oh my God, now I get to buy the system that's not integrated to my all-in-one because the all-in-one doesn't integrate with other tools and systems. And now I need to manage it in two different places. Like, no, you want to choose something that has an open OS where you have a hub that stays the same. You want to marry your CRM system and have that long-term. And then the techniques, the strategies, the tactics that you use are going to be ever evolving around that. And it allows you to attach and detach while you don't have to re-educate and retrain your team on how to manage a database or the main system. You can attach the best of breed tools that are out there, use those tools for as long as you would like, detach without re-educating and relearning.
We obviously decided to sort of be more of like the Switzerland of the real estate software world. We're not like closely aligned with anyone, like one lead source only. And when we got into it, especially, that's how everything was set up. Like, if you had Reals.com, you kind of had Top Producer, or like if you had, Tiger Leads was like an all-in-one platform, but like their CRM really just integrated with like their lead generation, right? So it's like everyone was sort of doing their own little thing. And yeah, we decided to go more this route of like, hey, let's integrate with everyone. And I think that's just helped us a lot. And yeah, now it's cool to be able to, like, I guess, invest a little bit more back in the ecosystem, or sort of see that partners even like, benefit from being part of it, whether that's signing more people up for your software, or you're building like a consulting business on top of Follow Up Boss or in the ecosystem. I think that's pretty cool.